So I've been noticing something obvious about men's mental health. Recently, I was kind of looking at some stuff that I was working on over the past few years, and I see that there's some common things that men struggle with, and they all mostly say the same thing. You've got different categories of situations where someone's really down and really low, and they're feeling depressed, and then you've got a person that's just kind of having ups and downs. Like you get a really bad period of time where he's going through some stuff and then he gets out the other side. You've got men who just kind of feel that low level anxiety, the low level fear, the stress. It's kind of underneath the surface and he tries to, get rid of it or tend to it or cover it up or struggle on with it. But in all those cases, in all those situations, there's common things that I see that I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to try and share it with you in a way that's more like, not like just telling you what's wrong with you, or and not giving you some fast fix solutions, but giving you a way to look at it as something that you can be involved in changing, if you want to look at it like that. So if you're a man and you're in a situation where you feel like you're achieving stuff, but you don't feel fulfilled, and you're on to the next thing, and you start getting addicted to the chase, to actually just keeping yourself busy and doing stuff all of the time, because you're afraid if you stop that you'll feel like you're lazy or that you're a failure and that you're broken. So you can't stop, because even if you do stop, your mind starts running in the background and makes you feel like you're not getting anything done. If you're struggling and you've got like a situation going on in your life, like for example, like the people that are doing the protest, the truck drivers and the farmers and stuff like that, like they're probably sitting in their cab and they're worried about, Jesus, if I don't get back to work, I'm not going to be able to pay the bills. But I can't go back to work, because if I quit now, I'll be a failure. And if I go back to work, surely I'll make ends meet, but that's no life to fucking live. And I'm sure there's a lot of them going through that in their mind. Hands up if you can't relate to those thoughts, And I'm going to talk a little bit about what I see, because I get to help people with that from where they are, meeting them where they are with how they're thinking and feelings, because your thoughts do influence your feelings, and the way you think influences your feelings. And when you change the way someone thinks, it changes how they feel. Now, not everything out there is going to help you to change how you think and feel as fast as you'd like it. I know there's a lot of information out there, and there's information overload. So the way I'm going to approach it is, I'm going to tell you real situations with real men. I'm not going to give anybody's names away or anything like that, or I'm going to be very delicate about how I talk about the subject, whatever they were going through at the time, and the transition from where they were to where they are now, and what changed and how it changed, and how you could apply it to your own life. And I'm going to be talking about me as well in this, because I'm a mindset coach. I've got loads of techniques that I can use on myself, okay? But there is things that I go through in life that can, like, it's like a punch in the gut, And if you're curious about, like, how do I actually deal with that? How do I cope with it? How do I manage it? Whatever you want to call it. That if I go through something, am I numb? Do I not care? Do I feel great all the time? Am I talking the talk and walking the walk? Like, am I applying this to my own life? Or am I giving advice, but I've got holes in my own game? Like, am I giving advice to other people and telling them, you should do this and feel like this, but I'm feeling shit. Like, is that the case? And the answer to all that is yes and no, because I do feel like I've been kicked in the stomach by a horse when something bad happens, and I should feel like that. That's necessary for you to be able to sense what's going on in your life. The difference between me now is I can feel bad. I can even buckle up and cry, like, and feel terrible. If someone passes away, which I've been through a lot of that recently, and there's only a certain amount of things that people can take if it's relentless like that before your mind starts shifting into thinking about how you're feeling. And then those feelings start to influence your thinking, and you can't see that you're caught in a pattern when you're inside of it. It's even for me, if I'm feeling like something, I've lost something or somebody, and I've lost a lot of people, and in that moment, that period of time when you've just lost them, there's a feeling of grief and sadness and loss there. But in that feeling, you can't think clearly. The difference between me and the way I used to be is I know that there's a beginning and an end to it, and I kind of have a fair idea of how long it is. And I know that, this too shall pass. Did he say that in the Bible? This too shall pass. That sounds great, but I kind of know it at a deeper level because of videos like this, of information like this that I'm going to be sharing with you, that you can think about it this way if you want, the way I process it and the way I help other people to process it, so they don't have to suffer as long. So do I feel bad when something bad happens? Absolutely. And it can fucking take me down, and my thinking goes all skewy as well when something like that happens, because even certain things don't feel fair, especially if they happen one thing after another. And I'm okay with feeling like that because I know there's a message in it, and there's a message in your pain sometimes. If you lose something or somebody, that's there to let you know change is occurring, and that you had something great and now it's gone. But if you didn't feel it, how would you know? So that's what my mind is doing. It's reframing everything. Now, I'm not just saying that if someone dies, I just dust it off and I'm back on my feet and I feel great again. I only recently, I lost my dog, and this 2 months later, and I'm still kind of, feeling a bit sad over it. But there was a few weeks where you couldn't tell me life was good. You just couldn't. I would come up with every reason why it wasn't. And that's because I had him for 8 years and he was with me every day and he never left me. So he was wired into my nervous system, every routine. I had routines around them. All my habits, behaviors, all revolved around him. And that has to affect you at some level. And if I didn't feel sad, how would I know he was a great dog? For me, he was the best dog in the world. And I'm sure everybody says that about their dog. But I was like someone kicked me in the stomach. And I have a way of framing that in my mind where I can still struggle with the feeling of loss and be with it, but know that it's not going to last forever. And the period of time that it does take for it to go from feeling that way to being on the other side of it, I don't worry about the future because I know that it will pass and everything changes anyway. And there's going to be a long period of time when I feel okay, everything's going to be fine, and then something bad's going to happen. But I know if something bad does happen, I can think about it the same way. I can let go. I can feel it. I don't feel bad about feeling bad. I can feel it, and then I can start to let it go, and then I'm back on track again. And I see patterns to my whole life, and it's going to be like that in the future. I've no doubt that something bad's going to happen in the future. I have no doubt. It's relentless at the moment if you look at everything that's happening in everybody's life. So if you go through a bad period of time and you're struggling to try and make sense of it, and you're starting to think more about how you're feeling, it can be counterproductive because it can start to become a habit and a way of being where you start to lose your desire and your purpose in life because you're like, what's the point? I'm after going through all this stuff and here we go again and it's all going to happen again. So you lose your drive and your motivation and you start living your life under duress. You're getting things done because you have to instead of because you want to. So you lose the desire for life. And there's lots of men living like that. You can see it in their eyes. They've lost the sparkle in their eyes. They're just getting up and they're going to work and they're sitting there thinking about the future. And they're analysing everything that they're doing and they're trying to figure out who they are and what it means and how could they have done better and what can they do next. And it's torment, it really is. And once you're down that slippery slope and you're at the bottom of that pit, even if someone throws you a rope down, you just don't feel like taking it, You'll tell them you're okay, but you're not, but you're just going to struggle on anyway. And lots of men never get out of that. Some men figure it out after a while and lots of men don't. So I'm going to be talking about scenarios and kind of the processes of examples of what a man can go through and how it can transform from where he is in that shit, in that cesspit of misery, or if it's just like a low lull, a low anxiety, a low fear, if he's in that, how can you transform that quicker than normal? Like, not get rid of it, because I don't think it would be ethical to get rid of it. Having no feelings at all can be counterproductive, right? Because if you don't feel anything, you still feel like something's wrong because you're not feeling anything. And this is what happens, people, when they take medication, the medication works for them. They're not feeling sad anymore, but they're not feeling anything. And then they start to think, okay, this is not the way it's supposed to be. I don't feel happy or sad. And they start to think more. So having no feelings at all is not good. If you can feel good about being able to feel bad and just be with it for a period of time, then you stop fighting it. You stop worrying about it. You stop pushing away from it. It becomes something that just becomes part of your life, but it's always changing. And once you have that mindset, then it stops being debilitating. You don't feel stuck. You're just, in a sense, a state of allowing. It's like if you have waves coming at you and you stand and you push like this against the waves, they're going to push you back onto the beach. But if you turn sideways and just let yourself let go, the wave will kind of pass through you and it'll be gone. But if you go facing it like this and you're pushing it and fighting it and resisting it, you'll end up being pushed back onto the beach. And if that's not your goal and you want to stay out and have a swim, it'd be counterproductive to push against something. So my kind of process is, okay, here's a wave. Here it comes. I know it's coming. I knew it was coming. And it will shift me and it will rise me up and drop me back down again and give me a fucking reality check. And then I'm going to be at the bottom of that wave. And it feels like I'm drowning, but then it will pass. If I give up and I let go, then I'll drown. So you don't drown by, falling in the water. You drown by not being able to swim, and you drown by staying there. So if you want to follow this kind of way of thinking, I'm going to just throw it out there. I know it's going to be helpful. It's not going to be like the overwhelm of information that's out there with techniques and tips and tricks, and you don't know if it's AI or if did this guy write this with an AI? Sounds like AI to me. I'm not fucking sure. In fact, I don't believe anything I see anymore, because everybody's editing everything with AI, and you can tell that it was structured and it's a structure. But life is not a structure. It's not fixed. Life is like the weather. It's incoherent. And it changes. You just have to be able to sense when it's changing and adjust your course accordingly, So life is not fixed. It's not static. There's a lot of static information out there that says, do this, 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 and this, and then you'll be happy, but not now. And I don't know at this stage, even though I use AI for a lot of my business, I know what it's capable of. It's even hard for me to tell if it's a real fella talking on the video. So apparently, if it's an AI, you can't do this. That right now, but that'll change, right? Apparently, if you ask AI to touch their nose, if it's an AI video and you're talking to it, they can't do that for some reason. I don't know why, but I'm sure they'll fix that. So if you want just real kind of inspiration, genuine, real, authentic processes, real stories, real beginning. I won't lie to you, a real beginning, real ending. The resistance along the way, all of the stuff that goes behind it. Then just watch these videos, and I'll catch you in whatever next one that I put up after this one as well. So thanks for watching. I'm Paul Campbell.